Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We dive deep into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket change, and today's story is absolutely incredible because we're talking about the 2016 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors around the world by being valued at up to $3 million due to its extraordinary minting errors and unbelievable mistakes that make it one of the rarest and most fascinating pennies of modern times. So sit tight and listen closely because what you're about to hear might make you look twice at every single penny you come across from now on, especially those dated 2016 with the D mint mark for Denver, because among billions of coins produced that year, only a handful escaped with the type of errors that can transform an ordinary cent into a multi-million-dollar collector's dream. And understanding how and why this happened takes us into the very heart of the U.S. Mint's coin production process, where millions of blanks are pressed, struck, and inspected each day under high-speed machinery. Yet even with the most advanced technology, errors still slip through undetected, creating rare anomalies that collectors prize above anything else. The 2016 D cent, like all modern Lincoln cents, was struck in copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters, featuring the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield design on the reverse that represents national unity and strength. But what sets this particular coin apart isn't just its design or date. It's the series of freak accidents during minting that created variations so distinct and visually striking that they immediately caught the attention of professional graders and coin experts across America. Some of these 2016 D cents show incredible double dies, where the design elements like Lincoln's eye, mouth, and lettering appear to have a ghostly doubling effect, often most visible on the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2016, which under magnification look as if they were stamped twice slightly out of alignment, creating that famous doubling phenomenon that has fascinated collectors since the 1955 double die cent. This kind of doubling occurs during the hubbing process, when the working die receives impressions from the master hub, and if any slight misalignment occurs between impressions, the result is a doubled image that gets transferred to every coin the die strikes afterward, meaning that all coins struck by that defective die will share the same error, instantly making them part of a valuable subvariety that collectors hunt down relentlessly. But doubling isn't the only kind of error seen in 2016 D cents. There are also off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, die clashes, plating blisters, and even a few rare transitional planchet errors where a 2016 D cent was accidentally struck on a blank intended for a foreign coin or a different denomination, such as a dime planchet, resulting in a lighter weight and smaller diameter penny that stands out dramatically from the normal issue. Imagine finding a 2016 D penny that looks slightly smaller, with a silvery tone instead of copper. Such a mistake would easily fetch thousands or even hundreds of thousands at auction, and when combined with other unique minting anomalies like incomplete plating or die misalignment, the value can skyrocket to over $1 million, especially if it's authenticated by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC, which certify and encapsulate coins as genuine mint errors, giving collectors confidence in their purchase. The $3 million valuation, of course, comes from a perfect storm of rarity, demand, and historical significance. A 2016 D cent showing a combination of doubling, off-metal strike, and extreme die clash has been reported among private collectors and allegedly sold through high-end numismatic circles for an astronomical price, mainly because it represents one of the rarest known modern minting mishaps of the Lincoln Shield cent era. To understand why collectors are willing to pay so much, it helps to remember that coin collecting is not just a hobby, it's a market driven by scarcity, condition, and story. The story of a 2016 D cent that survived the mint's intense quality control with not just one but multiple visible errors is captivating. It's a tangible piece of history showing how even in the digital age of precision minting, human oversight and machine imperfection can still create million-dollar rarities. In some cases, the 2016 D cents exhibit misaligned dies where one side of the coin, usually the reverse, appears slightly rotated compared to the obverse, causing the shield to tilt or shift, which may seem like a small detail but to a trained numismatist it's an indicator of mechanical misalignment that can significantly raise a coin's collectible status. There are also reports of 2016 D cents showing die breaks, tiny raised lines or blobs of metal usually appearing near Lincoln's shoulder or the rim, formed when a die begins to crack under pressure after striking hundreds of thousands of coins. When such cracks expand, they create dramatic raised areas called die cuts, and a full cut error where part of the design disappears under a raised blob of metal is among the most sought-after varieties, with prices that can soar well into 5 figures. Now, if that cut appears on a coin that also features doubling or off-center striking, you're looking at a once-in-a-lifetime minting disaster that instantly elevates that cent into $1 million artifact. It's also worth mentioning that 2016 was an especially high-production year for the Denver Mint, with billions of cents struck, which means the potential for error increased as machines ran continuously to meet demand. During such periods, dies wear out faster, planchets jam, and striking pressure fluctuates, creating conditions ripe for mistakes that escape into circulation. Some error coins may have ended up in rolls distributed through banks, while others were caught by sharp-eyed collectors before being spent, and those who found them early often sent them to grading services, locking in their place in numismatic history. One of the most fascinating possibilities involves 2016 cents struck on foreign planchets. The U.S. Mint sometimes produces coins for other countries, and occasionally leftover planchets from these runs get mixed into the U.S. coin feed. If a 2016 cent was struck on a planchet intended for a coin from another nation, such as a 2 centavos blank or a steel core foreign coin, the result would be a lightweight, wrong-colored penny that instantly stands out under close inspection. These transitional or off-metal strikes are exceptionally valuable, sometimes even more than double dies, because they are so rare and physically different. Another remarkable error found in 2016 cents is die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring parts of each design onto the opposite die, resulting in ghost-like outlines of the shield appearing behind Lincoln's portrait or faint traces of Lincoln's image visible on the reverse behind the shield, an eerie and beautiful accident that collectors absolutely adore. The deeper the clash marks and the clearer the transferred designs, the higher the value. In perfect storm examples, a 2016 cent could display doubling on the lettering, die clash lines behind Lincoln's bust, a small die crack on the rim, and perhaps even minor off-centering, all together forming a coin so unique that no second example exists, and that uniqueness is exactly what drives million-dollar prices. Condition, of course, plays a massive role too. A coin with these errors in mint state condition, meaning it has never been circulated and shows no signs of wear, can easily command 10 or 20 times more value than a circulated one. That's why collectors often hunt unopened rolls or bags of 2016 pennies, hoping to find a pristine specimen hiding among ordinary coins. The grading scale from MS60 to MS70 determines the value boost, and MS68 or higher with visible error features could easily break into 6 or 7 figures. The $3 million examples are those in top condition, verified by experts, and sold in private auctions where rarity meets passion and competition drives prices to the sky. There are also microscopic plating bubbles or blisters that appear on some 2016 cents, especially near the rim or Lincoln's coat, caused by trapped gases under the copper layer during the plating process. While small blisters alone don't make a coin valuable, when combined with major errors like doubling or off-center strikes, they can add to the overall uniqueness and desirability. Similarly, struck-through errors, where a piece of lint, grease, or metal fragment got between the die and planchet during striking, can leave indented or textured areas on the coin's surface that are completely one-of-a-kind. Collectors love these because they tell a story of what was literally in the minting chamber at the exact moment the coin was struck. Next 2023 1-cent coin, we explore the fascinating and often unbelievable world of rare coins, minting mistakes, and hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket change, and today we have something truly extraordinary to talk about because the 2023 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that you might have handled without even realizing it, has become the center of attention in the coin collecting world after reports of certain rare errors that have made some of these pennies worth up to $2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A small copper-colored coin that's supposed to be worth just 1 cent could actually be worth more than most luxury cars or houses, and the reason behind this incredible value lies in the unique and shocking minting errors that occurred during its production at the Denver Mint, making the 2023 1 cent a legendary modern rarity that collectors everywhere are scrambling to find and identify. So let's dive deep into the story behind this. Unbelievable coin, explore the types of mistakes that make it so valuable, and understand why it's become one of the most talked about pieces in modern U.S. coinage history. The 2023 D Lincoln cent belongs to the Shield Reverse Design series that began in 2010, featuring Abraham Lincoln's iconic bust on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse, symbolizing the unity of the states and the strength of the nation. But unlike ordinary 2023 D cents, a few extremely rare examples have surfaced showing striking and unusual features that could only have happened through a perfect storm of minting errors, mechanical failures, and perhaps even overlooked quality control steps at the Denver Mint. Each of these errors tells a story about how even in the 21st century, despite all the high-tech equipment, automated sorting, and digital inspection systems used at the U.S. Mint, human oversight and machine imperfection still lead to the creation of accidental masterpieces that collectors now treasure. The most talked about of all the 2023 D errors is the dramatic double die obverse, where the lettering, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2023, show clear and distinct doubling when viewed under magnification, creating a shadowy, almost three-dimensional effect that immediately stands out to trained eyes. This type of doubling occurs when the die receives multiple slightly misaligned impressions from the master hub during preparation, meaning that every coin struck by that die carries the same doubling pattern, making it a die variety that's both collectible and historically significant. Some of the 2023 D double die examples are so strong that the letters appear to shimmer as you tilt the coin under light, and the double details around Lincoln's eye and jawline give the portrait a unique ghost-like look, something that has mesmerized collectors since the discovery of the famous 1955 double die cent decades ago. Because such strong doubling on a modern coin is extremely rare, these 2023 D varieties have instantly become sought-after treasures, with the sharpest and best-preserved examples fetching astronomical sums, with one reported private sale reaching $2 million for a gem mint state coin certified by PCGS as a genuine major double die of exceptional clarity and eye appeal. But doubling is only one part of the story, because other error types found on 2023 D cents make them equally intriguing and valuable, including off-center strikes, broad strikes, die clashes, die cracks, struck-through errors, and even wrong planchet strikes where a cent was mistakenly struck on a dime or foreign coin blank. Imagine finding a 2023 D cent that's slightly smaller, thinner, and silver-colored because it was accidentally struck on a dime planchet instead of a copper-plated zinc one. Such off-metal errors are the holy grail for collectors, and depending on the condition and visibility of the error, can easily be worth tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now when we talk about off-center strikes, we mean coins where the design is not properly centered on the blank during striking, leaving part of the design missing and showing blank space on one side, and when the off-center percentage is large but still shows the date and mint mark, the coin becomes even more desirable, as those details are essential for identification. A 2023 D penny struck 40 to 60% off-center, in high mint state condition, could easily fetch 5 figures at auction, but combine that with another error like a die clash or doubling, and you're suddenly talking about a coin that could hit 6 or 7 figures in the right market, especially since 2023 coins are still so recent that error examples are scarce and highly anticipated by collectors seeking new discoveries. Then there are broad strike errors, which happen when the collar that holds the planchet in place during striking malfunctions, allowing the coin metal to expand outward, producing a coin that's wider and thinner than normal with distorted rims but still showing a full design. These errors can be stunning to look at and, on modern shield cents, create a uniquely warped shield pattern that collectors find irresistible. Die clashes are another fascinating mistake found on some 2023 D cents, occurring when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, causing part of Lincoln's image to be impressed faintly onto the reverse die and vice versa, so that ghostly outlines of the shield appear behind Lincoln's portrait or faint traces of his face appear behind the shield on the reverse. The more intense and well-defined these clash marks are, the more valuable the coin becomes, and when a die clash is paired with doubling or other visible die cracks, it becomes a dream find, the kind of specimen that can make a collector's career. Speaking of die cracks, these are raised lines or blobs of extra metal that appear on the coin's surface where the die itself began to fracture under pressure, and the 2023 D cents have been found with some spectacular examples of this error, including full die breaks that create large raised cuds along the rim where parts of the design vanish under a blob of metal caused by the broken die. A cud error that obscures part of Lincoln's bust or part of the shield is highly collectible, and the more dramatic it is, the more valuable it becomes. There are even reports of 2023 D cents showing retained cud errors, where the broken piece of die remained in place for a few strikes before completely breaking off, leaving behind a distinctive raised area with sharp borders that numismatists prize for its rarity. But perhaps the most mysterious and valuable of all possible 2023 D errors is the struck-through type, where a piece of debris, grease, or even a fragment of another coin gets between the die and the blank during striking, leaving behind unique indents or impressions that can take on strange and fascinating shapes. A struck-through fragment of another coin, especially if it leaves behind part of another design, is one of the rarest mint errors in existence and can command huge sums from error coin specialists. Some 2023 D examples have shown struck-through cloth or wire marks, giving the coin a textured or streaked appearance that collectors love because no two are ever alike. Another factor that has made the 2023 D 1 cent so captivating is its timing and context. By 2023, the U.S. Mint had already mastered advanced coin production technologies, meaning major visible errors were considered almost impossible, so when these flawed coins surfaced, they shocked the coin community, proving that even the most sophisticated minting systems are not immune to mechanical failure or human oversight. That surprise element drives collector excitement and pushes prices higher because everyone wants to own a modern rarity from an age when such things aren't supposed to happen. The $2 million valuation attached to a few of these 2023 D error cents comes from the combination of extreme rarity, visual appeal, and perfect condition. The coins that reach such high prices are usually graded in mint state 68 or higher, showing crisp details, bright original luster, and dramatic visible errors. When a coin combines strong doubling, perfect strike preservation, and full mint brilliance, it becomes a trophy piece for advanced collectors and investors, often sold in private transactions where prices soar beyond public auction estimates. And while some might doubt that a coin minted so recently could achieve multi-million-dollar status, history proves that exceptional modern errors like the 1999 Wide AM, 1983 Double Die Reverse, and 2014 Double Die Shield cent have achieved massive collector followings and record-breaking prices, laying the groundwork for the incredible value of the 2023 D cent. What makes it even more exciting is that these error coins could still be out there in circulation, hiding in bank rolls, change jars, or freshly opened boxes of cents from banks, waiting for someone with a keen eye and a magnifier to spot them. That's why error coin hunting has become such a popular hobby, because ordinary people have found life-changing coins worth thousands or millions, simply by paying attention. Last 2003 D 1 cent coin, explore the fascinating world of coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable stories that prove you can literally hold a fortune in the palm of your hand, and today's story is one that every coin lover and treasure hunter will want to hear because we're diving deep into the mysterious and extraordinary tale of the 2003 D Lincoln 1 cent coin. A coin that might look ordinary at first glance but has stunned the collecting world by being worth up to $1 million. Due to the extraordinary minting errors and rare mistakes that make it one of the most valuable and talked about modern pennies ever produced, and trust me when I say that once you hear how and why this coin became so valuable, you'll never look at your pocket change the same way again because you might be holding one of these million-dollar rarities without even realizing it. So stay tuned as we unravel the full story of how a simple 2003 D penny became a collector's dream, worth more than gold by weight, all because of the fascinating imperfections created by the powerful machinery and human error inside the Denver Mint. The 2003 D Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Reverse Design series that began in 1959 and continued until 2008 before the Lincoln Bicentennial and Shield Reverse designs took over, and even though billions of these coins were minted, a small handful of 2003 D cents emerged with incredible minting errors that make them unbelievably rare and valuable today. The coin itself was struck from copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters, bearing the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the detailed image of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Yet among all those billions of coins struck at the Denver Mint that year, a few were produced under unusual circumstances that created shocking variations and minting mistakes, turning these small 1-cent pieces into 6-figure or even 7-figure collectibles that coin enthusiasts now hunt for with obsessive passion. One of the most famous types of error found on the 2003 Lincoln cent is the doubled die, a phenomenon that occurs when the working die receives 2 or more misaligned impressions from the master hub, causing elements of the coin's design to appear doubled, shifted, or shadowed. On the 2003 penny, this doubling is often visible on the obverse side, especially on the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2003, as well as in the finer details of Lincoln's beard, hair, and eye, creating an illusion that the coin has been stamped twice but slightly out of alignment. Collectors call this a major double die obverse, and the stronger the doubling, the more dramatic and valuable the coin becomes. A well-preserved example showing clear doubling in mint state condition can command massive prices at auction, sometimes in the hundreds of thousands, and one extraordinary specimen with nearly perfect doubling and mirror-like luster has been rumored to sell privately for close to $1 million because of its unique appearance and condition. But doubling isn't the only error that makes the 2003 cent so special. There are also off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, die clashes, wrong planchet errors, and other freak minting anomalies that can make this coin worth an unimaginable amount. Off-center strikes happen when the coin blank, or planchet, is not properly seated between the dies during striking, causing part of the design to appear missing or cut off. If the off-center strike is large enough but still shows the date and mint mark, collectors consider it highly desirable. A 2003 penny struck 50% off-center with a clear 2003 visible could easily be worth thousands, and if that same coin also has another error, such as a die crack or doubling, its value could skyrocket exponentially. Similarly, broad strike errors occur when the retaining collar fails to hold the planchet during striking, allowing the coin metal to expand outward, resulting in a flattened or distorted coin with a wider diameter and no proper rim. These are dramatic and visually appealing mistakes that collectors love, especially on modern cents. Die cracks are another exciting feature seen on some 2003 cents, where small raised lines or blobs of metal appear across Lincoln's face, the field, or along the rim, caused by stress fractures in the die itself as it wears out after striking hundreds of thousands of coins. Sometimes these cracks grow large enough to produce what collectors call cut errors, where a whole section of the design is replaced by a raised blob of metal due to a piece of the die breaking off completely. A full cut error on a 2003 penny can be incredibly valuable, especially if it's located near the date or mint mark because that adds to its rarity. Another extraordinary possibility is the 2003 cent struck on a wrong planchet, which happens when a blank intended for another coin, like a dime or even a foreign coin, accidentally gets fed into the press for Lincoln cents. A 2003 penny struck on a dime planchet would be smaller, lighter, and silver-colored instead of copper, instantly recognizable and immensely valuable. There have been verified examples of other Lincoln cents struck on foreign planchets or dime blanks fetching 5- and 6-figure prices, and experts believe that a perfect 2003 off-metal strike could easily surpass $1 million because of its combination of rarity, visual uniqueness, and historical intrigue. Another rare but documented type of minting mistake involves die clashes, which occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring parts of their design onto each other. When this happens, the next coins struck show faint ghostly impressions of the opposite design. On a 2003 cent, this could mean that the outline of Lincoln's profile might faintly appear behind the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, or the columns of the memorial might appear behind Lincoln's bust on the obverse. These ghost-like clash marks are fascinating to collectors and can add tremendous value, especially if the clash is deep and clearly visible. Similarly, a struck-through error can make a 2003 cent incredibly valuable. This type of mistake occurs when some foreign object, like grease, lint, or a piece of metal, gets trapped between the die and the planchet during striking, leaving a deep impression or missing design element. A grease-filled die, for instance, can cause entire letters or numbers to appear missing on the finished coin, such as a 2003 penny missing part of Liberty or even the mint mark. Coins with clear struck-through patterns or missing design elements can sell for thousands because they represent rare, one-time production anomalies that can't be repeated. There are also interesting plating errors on 2003 cents because these coins were made from a zinc core coated with copper. Sometimes during production, the copper layer doesn't adhere properly to the zinc core, causing bubbles, blisters, or peeling in the copper surface. These are known as plating blisters, and while minor ones don't add much value, large or dramatic ones that alter Lincoln's face or the coin's overall appearance can attract collectors looking for unique specimens. When a major plating error combines with another type of minting mistake, say, doubling or a die crack, the coin's value increases exponentially. It's this combination of multiple rare features on one coin that pushes some examples of the 2003 cent into the $1 million range, especially when they're found in pristine condition. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. The 2003 pennies that fetch top dollar are typically in uncirculated or mint state condition, meaning they've never been used in commerce and still have their original shine and luster. Coins graded MS67, MS68, or higher by grading services like PCGS or NGC are rare to begin with, but when one of those coins also has a dramatic minting error, it becomes an ultra-rarity, often commanding massive premiums from high-end collectors and investors. The story of the $1 million 2003 cent is not just about the coin itself but also about the passion of the collecting community that thrives on discovering these modern marvels of minting. Collectors love the hunt, and the possibility that an ordinary-looking coin could be worth a fortune keeps that excitement alive. Every year, thousands of enthusiasts examine rolls of pennies from banks, using magnifiers to look for doubling, off-centering, or missing letters, hoping to find that one extraordinary specimen. The 2003 cent also represents a time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning through production updates, with new high-speed presses and modern die production techniques that, while more efficient, sometimes created new types of mechanical doubling or striking anomalies unseen in older eras. Some 2003 pennies show what's known as machine doubling, which is caused by die bounce or vibration during striking, but true double dies are distinct and much rarer.